So, one of the number one questions I get here in the Napa Valley working in the wine industry is, when should I drink my wine? Now, I know a lot of you are at home and you've organized your cellar or your wine fridge or whatever it may be, and you're finding wines. You're like, oh, I forgot I bought this, and is it drinkable, or is this drinkable anyways? And you're kind of trying to organize these wines. And my answer to this question is, know your producer. That's where you are going to find your answers, because there are so many components that go into ageability of wine and when you should drink it, and all of that combined. Plus, it's your perspective and what you like to drink and when you'd like to drink your wine. So that being said, I thought I'd shoot a fun video of a wine that normally is not ageable, I guess, in a sense, Sauvignon Blanc. So this style is done two ways. It's done throughout the world, fresh and clean, stainless steel, drink it young, and then it's done in what we call the sticky style, or the sweet style, Sauterne, which are some of the most ageable wines in the world. So two different styles, but rarely do you find that one that hits in between. I think this one hits right in between. This is the 2014 vintage Church Vineyard Sauvignon Blanc, coming from the Carneros region here in Napa. The Carneros is a sub-AVA of Napa that is nested in the southern part. It's a cooler region, known for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, really. But if you are a farmer like John Anthony Truchard is, and you are in your vineyard, you know how to make great Sauvignon Blanc. Another thing, and maybe the main component, that makes this wine ageable, it's fermented in new French oak. Not age in new French oak, it is fermented in new French oak, meaning that it sits in the barrel, and it's done not traditionally like you would do in stainless steel. Very fast fermentation. Yeast eats sugar, creates carbon dioxide and ethanol. Boom, boom, boom. This happens fast and hot and quickly. You got a wine. This is done in New Zealand, California. It's done all over the world. South Africa, South America, all these places. But when you do it in the best wine growing regions in the world, like the Napa Valley here, you can put it in new French oak. It's doing it low and slow. Yeast is eating sugar and creating carbon dioxide and ethanol. This happens over a 40, 50-day period. Eventually what happens is almost a turbine of these proteins, which is allowing for two things. It's allowing for these textures to happen because of the proteins, but it's also allowing for malolactic fermentation to kick in, just a small portion, about 35%. So the oak, a little bit of mallow, you're thinking Chardonnay style in California here, but really, when you're farming and you're using the correct clones of Sauvignon Blanc, which I mentioned, Muscat clone and Western clone here, not the UC Davis #1 clone, simple thing. This is a much more complex clone. When you have all these things combined and you are making 4 acres of Sauvignon Blanc in the Napa Valley, which is very rare. This is only going to be a passion project, if you will. These wines eventually will be ageable, and nobody, I don't think, expected this, but really 2014 vintage here. Compared to the fresher styles, this is very austere. It is very waxy and woolly, and all of these secondary components that are coming out, these nutty characteristics. The fruit has totally changed. We've gone into maybe dehydrated citrus, dehydrated apricots, dried peaches, dried apples, and things like this. It's got weight and texture. The acidity is rocking through the wine. Again, we're going to confirm all those dried fruits, maybe like a tamarind spice on all the fruits. And they're like sous vide for too long, and if that's even a thing, I don't think it is, but it's not dehydrated. The fruit is still there. There's a little bit of flesh there on these fruits. This like peachy, apricot-y thing is so rocking. Little bit of those tamarind spices. I don't know, it's from the oak, I would guess. Some of those other oak characteristics are there, but really begging for some food, begging for grilled shellfish or a composed salad of bitter green and some creamy cheeses, berries and nuts and a little bit of vinegar. Wow, I'm really impressed. The 2014 Church Vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. Wow, it's really cool to age Sauvignon Blanc from the Napa Valley like this. Very rare, very rewarding. If you've got some in your cellar, drink it. Also, we just released the 2019 Church Vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. I mentioned only 4 acres of these vines exist every year. So if you're into Sauvignon Blanc, this is truly, truly a special wine. So $55 a bottle. I'd get it now. Cheers.